Hello, my name is Jason Stock, and today I'm going to be talking about watches. I'm a huge watch fan, and I brought one with me today. This is actually a model I got online, and I'll put it up close for you here to get a good look at it. So this in particular is a mechanical watch, which is different from a battery powered watch, whereas you have to wind it in order to keep the time going on it. Some of the things that go into these mechanical watches which make them so much cooler than having a watch with a battery is that it's all physics that keep it going. So you don't have to worry about replacing a battery every couple of years or whatever. You wind it whenever you need to, you set the time, and the watch is good to go. One of the biggest things is the mainspring. And the mainspring is one of the biggest parts that powers the watch. And it's a little spiral of the steel inside of a barrel, and in there it turns, and the force of the mainspring turns the barrel, and the barrel has some teeth around it, and they turn about once per hour. After that, the center wheel drives the pinion of the third wheel, and essentially the wheels are all turning around inside of this watch. The escapement is the fourth wheel, and the escape wheel teeth alternately catch on two fingers called pallets, and then there's a pallet lever. Each time the balance wheel swings through its center position, it unlocks the lever which releases one tooth of the escape, allowing the watch's wheel to advance. Then there's the balance wheel, and the balance wheel keeps time for the watch, and it consists of a weighted wheel which goes back and forth. So if you look here, you can maybe see how this mechanism is going back and forth, and right behind it you can see that coiled spring, which would be the mainspring. So watches really are an amazing part of fashion nowadays, and I think what's overlooked is the mechanisms and the science that goes into them. Another big thing inside of them is the jewels. So the jewel bearings were invented and introduced by Nicolas Fatio, and a big thing of watches, whether they're Swiss made or Japanese movement, is usually the gems. So in a lot of them, of most watches, you'll see a Japanese quartz. Other than that, you'll see other Swiss made one which may have sapphire, may have ruby. And the difference between like a sapphire and ruby is the impurities that have been added to change the color. The jewels serve two purposes in a watch, and first is to reduce the friction that can increase the accuracy, and secondly, they increase the life of the bearings inside of the watch, so it will give you a longer lasting watch in general. Overall, I think that the watch face for me is one of the coolest things of a watch. So for instance, this one has a very nice white background, but it's also got kind of that scaled back to it as well. And one of my other favorite things is the moon phase function on here. So the moon phase function you'll see is at the very top, right under the 12 Roman numeral digit, excuse me, and you can see it has the sun on one side and the moon on the other. This indicates essentially what time of day it is, and it also has the military time function in it. Over a 24-hour scale, and I just think it's a really pretty piece of the watch. It gives it kind of some art to it. Other than that, you can see on the back where this mechanism, as you turn it, will turn itself, and that actually keeps the watch going so you don't have to wind it as much throughout the day. And it's a really cool function. If you wear the watch for a long time, then you don't have to wind it. Very convenient. If you don't wear it for a couple of days and it sits, then you do have to wind it, and then wearing it will charge it back up. But thank you very much for watching the presentation. My name is Jason. Have a good day.